Miss Aria, did you travel the world in this Cadillac?
Yes. Now it's just a ghost dying in the rain.
Let's bring the sparkle back for him today.
The mold is eating the paint. It's a total disaster.
It felt like watching him fade away all over again. Please, let me see his smile in this reflection again.
Please help me see his smile in this reflection again, Arya had whispered, her voice thin and fragile as she gripped the handle of her black umbrella. Standing before the devastated remains of her 1969 Cadillac Fleetwood. Standing there in the cold, pouring rain looking at that ghost of a car, I realized the years of thick moss and sun-baked desert mud burying this burgundy legend were far more than just a messy exterior. It was the physical weight of a woman's grief after years of holding onto a past that was slowly rotting away. This Cadillac was the grand prize of her marriage, the palace on wheels that her husband had polished every Sunday until the day he passed, and the garage door stayed closed for good. Now his widow Arya stood there, her colorful kimono a stark contrast to the gray sky, eyes fixed on the moss-covered hood as if waiting for the chrome to catch the light and tell her that everything would be okay again. I saw a woman who had protected her husband's pride for decades, and I knew that if I did not get this vehicle restored to its former glory, I would be failing a love story that everyone else had already written off as scrap metal. The Cadillac was an absolute disaster zone on the inside, the overwhelming smell of stagnant dampness. And old leather hit me like a brick wall the moment I pried open the heavy door, and the interior was some of the most heartbreaking I have ever encountered. Every square inch of the once plush seats and steering wheel was covered in a thick layer of dust and decades of neglect that had matted the classic fibers completely together. There were nasty grimy messes in the storage compartments and spider webs spanning the wooden dashboard that were truly hard to even look at. But every time I scraped a layer of hardened mud away from the door panels after winching the car out of the dirt, I was not just cleaning an old Cadillac. I was unearthing the tangible fragments of Arya's soul. I found an old jazz record buried deep in the glove box, along with the faded parking stubs from their first anniversary trip that had been trapped in the dampness for years. I did not treat these items as garbage. I handled them with respect because each one was a silent witness to 1,000 laughs and a dance under the stars that Arya had guarded without complaint even as the world moved on. I spent 15 very long and grueling hours meticulously pressure washing the entire exterior to dissolve the layers of moss and using specialized leather conditioners to revive the cracked hides because it was impossible to see the luxury otherwise. The amount of black sludge and moldy water I extracted from those seats was staggering, and for hours the only sound in my studio was the steady rhythmic hum of the extractor and the heavy hopeful silence of a woman waiting for her miracle. I took my extra time with the clay bar and the high-speed polisher, reviving the burgundy paint that the sun and rain had tried to kill until it caught the light like a gemstone once more. When I finally finished the chrome grille and the iconic Cadillac emblem felt like a victory over the darkness that had tried to swallow Arya's past. She told me that seeing the Fleetwood shine again felt like a massive weight had been lifted from her heart, giving her a chance to say goodbye to the neglect while keeping the memory alive. It is never just about the stains, it is about acknowledging that our history is worth the effort, and that even when our hearts are tired, our legacy deserves to be polished until it shines. 15 hours of labor to trade for the tearful smile of a woman who finally saw her husband's reflection in the paint is a price far too cheap for me. But what about you if you found the last piece of your greatest love rotting in the rain? Would you spend the days of sweat to bring it back, or would you let the rain wash the memory away forever? Comment your choice below, and are you ready to see your own legacy shine again?